I'm here with Doug Doughty in Omaha at the CenturyLink Center. Sorry about take one there. We did a whole little segment and then I ran out of space on my video there, and Doug's in a feisty mood now because I'm making him give his prediction not once but twice.
Well, this is what bothers me.
This is going to be good.
This is the second, you had me talk for about 2 or 3 minutes and then told me there was no more space. This is after I personally vowed never to come on your program again. You have driven a wedge between me and Jontel Evans, the point guard. I think Jontel Evans the last 6 weeks has been a very productive player, and you have just stirred up some stuff that happened earlier in the season.
Now let's get the viewers cued in on what actually transpired here, because you have a way of twisting details around, changing the story. What happened for Whitey 365 viewers? Oh, it was after the Virginia Tech game. Doug was on my program here saying that Jontel Evans' performances reminded him of former Virginia guard Calvin Baker. And that's on video. You can YouTube Calvin Baker.
I'll stick with my observations.
All right.
His play the night against Virginia Tech, decisions he made on the fast break, reminded me of Calvin Baker.
And you said that on video.
I said that on video.
And then you denied it, though, and explained to viewers how you then tried to throw me under the bus.
I didn't put it in print. You put it in print.
But I didn't attribute it to you.
Well, yeah. So then he should have been angry at you, but you've turned him against me. I think the guy has been an outstanding player for 6 weeks. First All-ACC defensive selection from Virginia in 11 years. I think he'll be a real key in this game here today against Florida.
Against that press, and I think that's going to be huge. I mean, him and Sammy Z have to take care of the ball if Virginia has any chance of winning this. But let's get back to the Calvin Baker-Jontel thing here. You tried to tell me that I was at fault for this whole thing. Jontel got a little mad at you yesterday. He called you out for that video, and then what did you do? You blamed Whitey.
I never put it in print. You caught me after the game.
Heat of the moment?
Well, I don't care. I'll stick by my thoughts after the game, but you're the one who has perpetuated this controversy.
All I did was film you speaking. If that's perpetuating, then I perpetuated.
No, but you put it in print. I mean, I don't know how many people watch this Whitey 365. I can't imagine it's a lot.
Oh, it's a ton. You just check the Nielsen ratings. It's a very popular show.
All right, well, let's move on.
All right, moving on. The whole point of this thing was to talk about our predictions for today. And as much as this absolutely kills me to say, I'm going to have to agree with something you said. You picked Florida in our first segment that nobody ever saw because I didn't have enough video space, but I have to agree with you on that prediction. Do you want to explain to viewers again why you feel Florida will win today?
Well, I hate to say it, I think Florida has more talent and is deep, and this Virginia team has done some things that no Virginia team has done in 30 years. It won 18 games by the end of February, won 20 games earlier than any team at Virginia in the last 30 years, and yet if I were to think back, and I covered all 30 of those teams, I would say it would be in the lower half talent-wise of those 30 teams, and particularly with the absence of a bench right now.
Well, I can see one of two outcomes in this game when I look at it. I can see Virginia uglifying the game and playing at their pace and making Florida play a game in the 50s. And I can see Virginia winning another one of these maybe close games or at least, being within a few points of Florida. The other outcome I see is Florida actually making their three-pointers. They're the best three-point shooting team in the country, or at least they make the most threes in the country. And I could see them winning a 70-something to 50-something game. I can't see any other outcomes other than that. A blowout Florida win or a close game in the 50s. What do you think about that?
Well, I tend to think that teams that shoot three-pointers well or make a lot of three-pointers, we need to distinguish that Florida leads the country in made three-pointers, does not lead the country in three-point field goal percentage. The teams that make a lot of three-pointers are generally better at home on their home floor where they're more comfortable than they are on the road, and I think from a standpoint of comfort that this is like a road game for both teams. So I think, the possibility is that Virginia's defense, which isn't the pack line, which isn't necessarily designed to stop the three-pointer.
It almost encourages it to a certain degree.
Yes, but I think you look back and teams have not shot hot. Well, Virginia's 10th in the country in three-point field goal percentage defense.
Doughty, throwing out the knowledge here on Whitey 365.
Well, you do a couple takes because you have no room. You can draw on that vast reservoir of knowledge that you have. But, I would be surprised to see Florida go wild from three-point range. I think it'll be a pretty close game.
All right, well, you heard it here, and thanks for coming on the program. We appreciate your patience, as always.
I'm sure you'll twist this again and make me look bad, but I just keep doing it for whatever reason.
All right, and viewers should just know, I guess, as we sign off here, that you do think Calvin Baker is a better point guard than Jontel Evans?
No.